Okay, well, I'm hoping everybody watches this before your test tomorrow or the next day. I'm getting a lot of people still confused on what reduced radicals and or improper fractions mean, even though we're in high school or taking a high school class and should know the difference between all of these expressions or ways to express numbers this way and decimals. So on every test or quiz it says don't use decimals unless indicated. So what does that mean? So hypothetically, let's suppose you're working with an equation, one like x squared equals 17. Okay, so we should know how to solve this thing. We get x equals plus or minus the square root of 17. Now I know you'll be very tempted to put that into your calculator and say, oh yeah, that's about 4 point whatever, I don't really know. For us, we're going to leave our answers just like this. That would be our final answer. Now you always want to check that your solutions to your equations give you acceptable measurements, so make sure that when you plug this in to like a length or an angle that you don't get any negative measurements. So another example, let's say I get like 5x minus 1 equals 7. Okay, you know how to solve this stuff in your sleep. If you add 1, divide by 5, you get x equals 8/5. Okay, so that is our final answer. That's an improper fraction. We're not going to do anything with that. Now, if that was something like, oh, I don't know, 20/5, then we would go ahead and reduce that. So make sure you reduce your fractions as much as possible, and then you're just going to leave them in improper form. We're not going to type it into the calculator and then round off. So how about a combination of these two? Okay, so let's say you have 3x squared plus 2 equals, say, 14. Okay, well, actually, that's going to come out to be a nice whole number, so how about I change that up? 3x squared plus 1 equals a 14. So if you subtract 1, divide by 3, x squared is 13, divide by 3, and again, we're going to leave that in improper reduced form. Then you take square roots. So there is your final answer. Again, you want to double check that you get acceptable measurements, but we're not going to type all that into the calculator. So make sure you're comfortable leaving answers like this. Otherwise, you're going to get little points taken off on your test or quiz or whatever is coming up this year. But I don't want you guys to lose any points. So just get comfortable with that. Shoot me an email with any questions.